Up until now, Outcast Outlast has been a place for the stories of others. The voices from the archives, the ghosts of history, and the rebels who refuse to break. But every archive has a keeper, every story has a narrator, and every narrator has a reason why they started digging in the first place. Today, I'm stepping out from behind the curtain. Before I became the voice of these stories, I was an artist. I spent over 14 years on stages, performing under the lights as a contact juggler. I lived a life of balance until my own body tilted the scales and the system that was supposed to catch me simply looked away. This is my personal outcast story. It's the reason this channel exists. It's the story of how a biological fire was mistaken for a mental collapse, and how I had to become my own doctor, my own scientist, and my own attorney to survive. If you've ever been told it's all in your head while your world was burning, this is for you. This is how I went from the spotlight to the shadows, and how I'm fighting my way back. It all began with a sphere. On November 16th of 2006, I held it for the first time, and the world began to spin. What started as a game became my life, my profession, my calling. By 2010, I wasn't just Kerstin anymore. I was Carrie Balder, the contact juggler. My home was the road, medieval fairs, grand stages, the glare of TV cameras. I lived for that split second when the magic of the crystal spheres mirrored the wonder in the eyes of the crowd. I gave 100%, always. But while I was enchanting the world, the road was demanding its tribute. Fast food at the markets, constant adrenaline, and a quiet, persistent whisper from my own body. Histamine was my silent shadow now. But I didn't listen. I was an artist. Nothing else mattered. In February 2024, the glass shattered. A bit too much chocolate, a piece of very old fish. Trifles for some, a big bang for me. Suddenly, reality felt wrong. Dark, intrusive thoughts flooded my mind. Thoughts I didn't recognize. But an artist doesn't break. The season began, and I performed while a storm raged inside my skull. By May, the spheres stopped. They had to. My sense of time was collapsing. I would sit there, not knowing what was before or after. I was lost in the now. I turned to the system for help, but I didn't find healers. I found the gallery of ignorance. First, there was the clairvoyant, Dr. W., a psychiatrist who didn't need blood work. He looked at me and just said, "I can see it in your face. You've always been mentally unstable." He traded ICD-10 science for 19th century pseudoscience, projecting his own helplessness as a personal judgment. Then came the moral guardian, Dr. L. He looked at my liver values, and he just smelled an open bottle, not a disease. He didn't understand the gut-liver axis at all, that a leaking gut poisons the liver with bacterial toxins. To him, I was just another drinker with an excuse. I met the puppet master, Dr. C, who asked me if I even know where I was, treating me like a child because my brain was clouded by brain fog. And the exorcist, Dr. U, who tried to push me into a psychiatric cage just to get me off her desk. Finally, there was the 2-minute church, a neurologist I often had to visit. 2 minutes at the very beginning was all he needed to sentence me with schizophrenia. I showed him the lab results, the proof of the fire in my gut and brain. He simply sneered. Inflammation has nothing to do with intrusive thoughts at all. He treated a burning house by telling the owner the blueprints were wrong. But while they were busy judging my facial features, I began to save myself. If the system won't build me a bridge, I'll build it myself, molecule by molecule. My body is not a psychological riddle. It's a biological battlefield, and I am bringing the peace. My stack is my army. I am no longer waiting for a doctor's permission to be healthy. I am taking it, and I am the outcast. I will outlast.